Rampage is a 2018 American science fiction monster film directed by Brad Peyton and loosely based on the video game series of the same name by Midway Games. The film is the third collaboration between Peyton and Johnson, following Journey to The Mysterious Island, 2012, and San Andreas, 2015. It also marked the final released Warner Bros. Film to be financed by Access Entertainment / RatPac-Dune Entertainment, as the studio had ended their partnership with the company due to sexual harassment allegations against RatPac-Dune owner Brett Ratner, which resulted in the company going uncredited. The company subsequently dissolved later that year. Principal photography began in April 2017 in Chicago. The film was released in the United States on April 13, 2018. By Warner Bros. The film had grossed over $428 million worldwide and received mixed reviews from critics, with praise for its performances, action sequences, and visual effects, but criticism of its screenplay, pacing, and storyline. Athena 1, a space station owned by gene manipulation company Energyne, is destroyed after a laboratory rat mutates and wreaks havoc. Carrie Atkins, the lone surviving crew member, manages to escape in the escape pod when the station implodes, along with pathogen canisters that Energyne CEO Claire Wyden orders her to retrieve, but the pod disintegrates upon re-entry, killing her and leaving a trail of debris across the United States. One canister is swallowed by an American crocodile in the Everglades, and another lands in a Wyoming forest where a wolf is exposed to the pathogen. Primatologist Davis Okoye, a former U.S. Army Special Forces soldier and member of an anti-poaching unit, works at the San Diego Wildlife Sanctuary. He has befriended a rare albino western lowland gorilla named George that he saved from poachers who killed his mother and communicates with him via sign language. One of the canisters crash lands in Georgie's habitat, and he is exposed to the pathogen. As George grows considerably larger and more aggressive, Davis is contacted by genetic engineer Dr. Kate Caldwell, who explains that the pathogen was developed by Energyne to rewrite genes on a massive scale. She had hoped to advance research on CRISPR as a potential cure for diseases, but discovered Energyne's plans to use it as a biological weapon and was falsely incarcerated, during which her terminally ill brother died. George escapes from captivity and goes on a rampage at the preserve. George is calmed, but is soon captured by a government team led by Agent Harvey Russell and put on the Boeing C-17 Glowmaster Run 3 airplane. Meanwhile, Claire and her brother Brett oversee a mercenary team's attempt to capture the mutated wolf, Ralph, which ends in failure and the slaughter of the entire team. Claire, hoping to capture Ralph and use George to cover up her plot, uses a massive transmitter atop the Willys Tower to lure the animals, engineered to respond aggressively to a certain radio frequency, to Chicago, unconcerned about the massive risk to civilian lives this poses. George reacts violently to the sound and crashes the plane, though Davis, Kate, and Russell parachute to safety. George survives the crash and joins Ralph as they make their way to Chicago, while Davis and Kate are aided by Russell in stealing a military helicopter in pursuit. They arrive to find George and Ralph tearing through the city, as the military struggles to fight against them. The situation worsens when the mutated crocodile, Lizzie, joins the duo, causing even more casualties. Planning to steal an antidote to turn the animals back to normal, Davis and Kate infiltrate Energine's base of operations at the tower and take several vials of it, but are caught by Claire and Brett as the former reveals that the antidote only eliminates the animals' enhanced aggressiveness, rather than reversing the other effects, and shoots Davis, but he survives. When George climbs to the top of the tower, Claire orders Davis to distract it while she attempts to escape with Kate at gunpoint. Kate slips a vial into Claire's handbag and pushes her toward George, who swallows Claire whole along with the vial, returning him to his normal personality. Below, Russell takes incriminating evidence from Brett, who is crushed to death by falling debris. As the damaged tower topples, Davis and Kate survive by crash landing a helicopter on Federal Plaza. Davis stays to help George defeat the other animals, while Kate and Russell rushed to prevent the military from deploying a mob against them. George fights Ralph, whom Davis tricks into advancing towards Lizzie, who decapitates him using her jaws. Lizzie chases Davis, but George intervenes in time for Davis to incapacitate her using grenades. However, Lizzie survives and overpowers George, who is impaled by a rebar. Davis distracts Lizzie using a fallen Apache attack helicopter, but is nearly killed before George stabs Lizzie through the eye with the same rebar, killing her. With the threat neutralized, the airstrike is aborted. In the aftermath, George and Davis, joined by Kate and Russell, help clear the city of debris and rescue civilians.